I was when I was younger, I was like thinking, should I get like a chin implant so I have a stronger chin?
Yeah, man.
I was like thinking
Do
about
you,
it. I'm
bro?
like, should I? But then I thought about like if I'm fighting or if I'm boxing, right, and then someone punches me in the chin, I don't want my chin to end up here or like on the other side of my face. Just get hit and just.
Have you seen that old Looney Tunes bit of Daffy Duck getting shot in the face?
Yeah. And it goes around. Yeah. That's what I can imagine.
Yeah, that's like that.
Like, what's your limit?
This
Like, would you
means
dye
well.
your hair if you get gray hairs? Would you? Like, or would you go grow old
So that is
gracefully?
pubes.
Like, what would you do?
I'm starting to get gray hairs now.
What's your thoughts?
I don't
on it?
know.
Like,
I was thinking about just dyeing my hair silver or like gray or like just.
No, you know that's a
completely-
good look though. I was
Instead
actually
of-
thinking of
Instead of
silver hair is actually pretty cool.
Like Mr. Fantastic.
I reckon it looks cool.
You have a
Yeah.
stripe.
like the silver fox look on the
Yeah,
side.
Yeah.
the Cisco look.
I do that, but with my nuts.
Just that
I
one
got
streak.
a silver streak.
Yep.
It looks like a racing stripe on my chode.
Some girls are like, "Wow, this penis is very wise."
There's a runway. It's a runway straight towards it.
It's aged
That's classic.
gracefully.
Classic porno material.
I'm the
clean.
type that would probably if I started to go gray and it was really patchy, I just dye it all gray.
Yeah, you all
Serious
gray. You
question
go
though,
on.
Go all
with
in, man.
Gray hairs. Have you guys started getting gray pubes?
Nah,
No,
not yet.
not yet.
No. Yeah,
No.
me neither.
He basically said he's got great pubes. He's like, yeah. I don't got great hair. What do you mean?
Have you guys ever put on makeup before? Like, as in, like, just to cover like certain things, or just for beauty's sake or something? Like, have you ever put makeup on your face before?
Yeah, when I needed to be on TV and stuff, like they put makeup on you. I do have one story. When I was in the Philippines for my cousin's wedding, there was one of the wedding planner or whatever. He wanted to put makeup on all of the guys, and I thought it was really weird. And I thought, okay, that's fine. Maybe it's because it looked better on camera. What he did was he did the white lady look on all of the dudes. So he put talcum powder on all of our faces, red like cherry lip gloss, and then like red cheeks. Like he put blush on our cheeks. And I'm looking at him like, are you serious, dude?
You got
You
the
wanna
Bajun treatment, bro.
Is that what it was?
Bro, I can understand that. Like, when I was
man.
17, I was trying to impress like this like lady.
Dude,
Yeah,
that is-
I had a crush. I had a crush on a lady, and I'm like, I had pimples on my
On a
face because I
lady.
was like full of acne. This is like growing in as a teenager type of
Oh,
shit.
it's like old
So, and then I'm like, I got my cousin to put makeup on my face just to hide the little pimples on my cheeks and stuff. But instead, it went to a point that it like my skin tone was different on my cheeks, so they had to do my whole face. And then I look back at the photos, I feel like I look like a fucking zombie. Like I got, it was all white, kind of like the whole white lady thing. And-
Twilight.
yeah, the whole Twilight thing, the whole nine
Yeah.
yards, man. And man, I was just looking back and I'm like, fuck it, man. I'd rather have the pimples than do this shit. Like,
Rap Laura Scullin.
and like, yeah, I wasn't even shimmering or anything. It was one of those things like you could tell because like the makeup was over here. I looked like
he was pissed off because he wasn't glistening.
yeah, I wasn't glistening. Bro, if I am gonna have white skin or like lighter skin or something like that, I have to
That'll
be
look-
glistening.
It'll look
I don't want-
unnatural, bro. You know
Yeah,
why?
bro, it
Because
looks-
our looks, we don't look like that kind of Filipino. We look like the Filipino. Can you imagine if I had light skin? I'd look weird, man. I suit.
You do have light skin,
It's
bro.
not that. It's not that light, bro. It's not that light.
like sometimes when I take off my
You're
pants,
lying.
my thighs are like super light because like it's never seen the light. It's never seen the sunrise.
Oh yeah,
It
my
looks like-
feet are
yeah.
so white, bro.
Yeah, like if you
It
look at
looks-
yourself
it's
naked,
blinding.
do you feel like you're wearing like skin toned shorts? That's what I feel like. Like you sort of give you some images in your head. I was like, I look in the mirror, like the skin tone between my thighs and my shins. I'm like, man, this is some
For all the listeners
top
out
deck
there.
shit, bro.
Just
We
picked
don't,
off for all
we
the
don't
listeners
believe
out
you,
there.
Raph. We need to see it to believe it.
Yeah, the viewers want to see it.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
you
man,
know
we
us,
believe
bro.
you.
You guys, it'll be literally like my shirt, the color that I'm wearing now, and then my arm. Like literally, that's my thigh. Imagine this is my thigh, and
Yeah,
this is
open your
my
arm.
shins. Like yeah, but no, this is different than this. Yeah, oh, actually, see that, man. Lockdown has fucked me up.
Oh,
man. I see
flexing.
that,
Flex.
bro. See the definition. It's all lighting, bros. But like, yeah, back to the thing with the makeup. Like, man, don't ever like if you want to impress someone and try to hide your pimples, don't put makeup because you look like you're wearing the Halloween mask, the Michael Myers mask. But
I
like,
think-
That's
you
what I
have
mean.
the
It's-
I think
makeup
if you
all
blend
the way
it-
here.
I think if you blend it, it's fine, right? It's,
Yeah, you
blend it,
gotta
it's
do
fine.
that shit right, man.
Hey, I've got
No
Garcia
shortcuts.
has a story.
Yes, bro.
Garcia's done makeup before.
Isn't like you're a
You
makeup
or you give it to
artist.
people?
Garcia's done makeup.
Both. It's kind of well, getting makeup on me. That's like similar to Don's one. It's kind of like as a morbid ending, but it was my parents' wedding because I had a makeup artist to, again, like for the photos, right? He wanted to put makeup on all of us, even the boys, and you got the two-tone, call it the two-tone, Edward Cullen look from the front, and then it stays, philo in the back, and then, but I mean, I was like really young, so I didn't really, like I just figured, it's just for the photos kind of thing. Like months later, I hear news that same makeup artist apparently passed away from eating the hard bit from a balut,
Oh
which you're probably not supposed to eat, but he choked on that thing, man.
Wait, what's the hard bit? I haven't had balut before.
That would be the beak,
I just
wouldn't
think it's the shell is the hard bit. Is there a
Oh,
hard
no,
bit inside as well?
On the inside, there's a part that... So
Yeah.
the duck doesn't take up the whole space. There's a part there where it stays like really hard.
It's like it's calcification or something inside the egg.
Yeah. You're not
Shit,
supposed to
I didn't
eat
even
it.
know that,
You're not-
man.
And does it just
Oh, I
stay
don't
in the
think you're
broth?
supposed to
Because
eat
like,
it.
what if don't people just take a shot of the broth or something like that? Or
Yeah, I thought
it's
people
like
just
I do because I
Yeah,
don't really
but-
like eating.
But
the,
what if
the
you
duck
drink? What if
part.
you drink the hard bit? Like it's like a Kinder Surprise, and then you're not supposed to. Then you just choke on something. Like what the
They
fuck?
should put Kinder Surprise.
They should put warnings on these bullets, bro. Like
Can you imagine, like, to prank kids, right?
like a toy.
You wrap a ballot in Kinder Surprise wrapper and give it to them, and then see when they open that shit.
It's a dead baby.
Fuck.
It's a duck embryo.
they're trying to put it together and shit. It's like it's not working.
Comes with a pepper, so
It's not working.
Come on.
It won't stick onto the.
trying to put it together, bro.
Oh man. But the other story of that was Garcia actually has done
Well-
somebody's makeup. She's actually done somebody's makeup.
So my ex, this was like fucking 20 years ago now.
Man, you're one of those boyfriends doing the girlfriend's
Oh, yeah,
makeup.
that's-
oh,
That's
dude,
crazy.
Man, I'm
Brown-
boyfriend
brownie
material through and through.
Damn,
Now,
son.
like her younger sister was having I think it was like formal,
Mm.
and just like when you're supposed to book that shit well in advance, right? I don't think she had that lined up. So come to the day, like it was like, well, we need to get her makeup done, and her sister, like my ex, was the one doing it, and I was just thinking, like, man, you're doing this shit all wrong. I see, like at the time, it was kind of like you see girls doing their makeup on the internet and stuff. Like I was like perving on Korean girls and shit doing their makeup tutorials. So I was cluey with blends and shit, and
Oh shit.
I was like, all right, we gotta like we went to Priceline.
Wait, is that how you,
I
is that how
picked
you,
out
is that how you
everything.
learned?
Hey,
Is that how you learned how to do the makeup?
it was kind of
From
like imagine
Instagram.
how you guys watch
Research.
that you guys watch that movie where I think it's called Limitless, and he was like watching all these kung fu movies, and
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he knew how to fight,
Bro.
but he didn't know.
Oh shit! I know.
Are you saying you can use 100% of your brain? Shit.
Bro,
So you were perving on Korean chicks on Instagram, and out of nowhere you're like, I can do this.
bro,
That means you know how to speak
exactly.
Korean as well.
I was learning without
You
even
know how to
knowing.
speak
bro.
Korean now.
Garcia can speak Korean though.
Not from the. I mean, I know all the words for makeup. Nah, I'm just kidding.
What is it, bro? What is it? Give us a tutorial.
Makeup at all.
So like,
Makeup
Oh,
is.
man.
all right, that's a good topic to talk about. Have you ever learnt something by accident when you were doing something else? For example, like Garcia was checking out chicks, and then out of nowhere he learned how to make he can do makeup. That's some crazy shit. How about you guys? Like, have you ever done something or perved on girls, and then out of nowhere you gained another skill that you never knew?
I kind of, not really a skill, but it was more. So I used to play GTA like a lot, right? And in 2016, me and my friends went to America. Like, we went to Santa Monica Pier, which is like a setting that they used to put in the game in GTA.
Oh yeah.
So there was 5 of us, and we all couldn't fit in the same car. Oh, we took 2 cars. 3 of them, like, we basically lost each other on the way there. So by the time we got to Santa Monica, 3 of them, they were already at the beach. Me and Ken were still, like, parking our car, and it was saying, hey, we're on the left hand side of the pier. And me and Ken were like, how do we get to get off the pier and then go on to the beach part? And for some reason I knew exactly where I needed to go, mainly because it was exactly the same as the game, bro.
Yeah. As long as you're not hijacking cars and running people over, and you're not learning that aspect of GTA.
It is accurate, yeah.
Yeah. You know what's kind of trippy as well? When you're walking through the game and there's NPCs talking crazy shit? It felt exactly like that, man. Like, when you're walking through a crowded place like New York and they have crazy conversations on the phone.
Yeah.
It feels like the NPCs around you, bro.
Yeah.
Now, you know what it is? Because American sounds so animated. I had the same feeling. So in LA and, even New York, you walk around, you're like, man, I feel like I'm in a movie, eh? And then you forget, like, because we watch, all the shows we grew up on. Well, most of the stuff that I liked was all, like, American TV shows. And you just forget, you don't associate with it. So then when you go to America, you're like, oh, this place is real, eh?
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. Like, I think it's good you can enjoy America by being not American and just watching TV, because you associate everything with what you see on TV, and then when you see it in real life, you're like blown away. I don't think Americans get that like aspect unless they're like watch British shows all the time, watch like Downton Abbey or some shit, and go to Britain and in England and be like, oh my god, they're speaking like
wow,
like they don't experience that.
Do you reckon they do that when they watch Neighbours?
I think people
like, oh wow,
I think Americans love the Australian accent. Like, a lot of people love the Australian accent. It's a good accent. Like,
nice
people
accent.
like.
Apparently, it's the 5th sexiest accent in the world.
Oh, well, let's not talk about accents. We might get some haters. Let's not get into.
Let's not get into accents. We get in trouble again, man. We're gonna get in trouble for that shit.
The Filipino accent is 21st in the world.
But speaking of the Australian accent, like, like
It's alright.
the Australian accent is,
Australian accent.
they think it's so sexy, but when they hear someone say, "Get in the car," mate.
Get in the car, bruh. Now, you know what it is? There's a bogan accent for every accent.
Yeah.
It's the hillbilly accent.
There's always going to be a
That's
sexy
all.
version of an accent, and then there's going to be the funny version of the accent. Like, it's always going to be like that. That's the way it is.
Apparently, there are 3 different types of Australian accents. There's the broad Australian accent, which is almost, I think they call it Oka, or it's almost the bogan one.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. And then there's the general accent, which most Australians have. And then there's the proper accent, where I think a lot of people from Adelaide, they speak a little more proper. How now, brown cow?
You don't
What? That sounds British though.
Australian anymore.
It's almost sounds like it's almost like a British.
You mean it sounds
British.
nice?
Yeah.
It's just
Everyone
sort
just
of
sounds like Don.
more.
It's a little more pronounced when they speak.
It goes back to England English, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like even America, they still have that shit.
I like the
Like,
British accent.
I do declare, like, those old fucking
Oh yeah,
slave
yeah.
owner kind of
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like
Foghorn Leghorn.
yeah.
I do declare.
Like, I don't know if Australia has it, but it was like, how if you go to America, if you go to each state, they have their own accent. Like, there's a Boston accent, there's a New York accent, there's a Southern accent.
Yeah, that's
I have
cool.
no
How
idea.
did
Because,
that
like,
happen?
I don't know. I really
How
don't
the hell
know.
did that happen? Eh?
But Australia, like, I really hope that I haven't really explored all of Australia.
we
But
don't.
like, I really
we
hope
all
there's like
sound-
different accents in different like parts of Australia. Like, all I know is
The accent.
It's the same for UK, but UK does that too. I only started like when I came here. There's like different accents for
Yeah, there's like
different,
Cockney accent,
counties
or
and
like
stuff,
there's a
like,
South.
the more
yeah,
south
I'm
you
like,
go,
what? We don't even have that shit. I'm like,
it's cool. We don't have that.
I'm
We
pretty sure we
kinda-
do.
I wonder if
We
it's like
kinda
the
do.
influence, like is there like an immigrant influence
so.
for it? So maybe like I'm just going back to America, right? Like maybe the New York accent, because a lot of maybe Italians, like Italian Americans,
we're sounding
maybe
mad
they're
ignorant,
Italian,
but you know.
fuses and makes that. Oh, bro, we live in a
Diverse.
freaking, like, you know, halfway in a very small
Yeah.
island far away.
And we've got
from
like a
things, so I
small,
guess it's easy to, like, you know, we just like
population too. But like Boston's got like
Small population,
heavy Irish,
Heavy Irish,
descendant
yeah.
Yeah,
background, right?
it.
there you go, because
Yeah, it must be where
Irish,
they
maybe
where
it's
they, like
why, yeah.
all the Irish people kind of settled,
Mm.
and then it turned into that accent. I love the Brooklyn accent, the New York accent from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to copy it right now, but I just love it. When I landed at the airport and I caught an Uber to where I was staying, I was asking the guy where the best place to get food was, and he's I'm gonna try it. I'm probably gonna butcher it. You got Iggy's, you got pizza over here. You can get some hot dogs. You can get some coffee. All this stuff. And I'm like, that's
Coffee.
I was like, that's amazing. I only heard it in movies, and I'm like, I love your accent.
The one thing I
It's like,
learned about
get outta here.
Americans when I went to America is like I learned it through the Uber drivers. All the Uber drivers in New York, they don't talk to you at all. Like they don't talk to you. They just take you to the place that you want to go, and then you go, and then that's it. When you go to LA, every single Uber driver has a full-on life story talking to you about everything that they know, and I find it really. I don't know if it's because of the whole laid-back thing versus like the hustle and bustle of New York,
Yeah.
but I learned so many shits about like people in Los Angeles just through the Uber drives, man. Like that's I don't know any people from America who been to LA and New York and done some Uber driving there. Just let me know. Like I want to know like is it a thing that no one in New York talks to you and then everyone in LA talks to you? It's crazy.
Could be just like a cultural thing too. You know how the East Coast is very different to the West.
Yeah.
Like over there, like everyone's like in New York, it's like a cold kind of place, and then you get out to the West and it's like the sun's out and shit. So you're a bit
Yeah.
more open to.
Yeah, I'm really thinking
Yeah,
it's more like
having a conversation.
laid back versus hustle and bustle type of attitude.
Yeah.
It is just crazy to me. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the show. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Raph, and this is episode number 158.
158.
And I am here with my usual suspects of doing stuff, the
158.
chef,
What's doing?
and the balls of the podcast, Garcia. And all the way in London town. Still brown. Ain't locked down.
Still brown.
Always late to the podcast. Is
locked
Nats
down.
blazing. Oh, shut up.
Bro, I wasn't late today. I was early. Yeah, what's doing?
Just
Oh my god, I wasn't even
That's
late.
blazing.
But I'll take it. I am usually late.
No, not
so
bad.
yeah.
I just want to
I'll
quickly
take
just
it,
talk
I'll
about
take
is
it.
filler time
What's
a
going
thing?
on, Raph?
Like, do
Oh,
you
yeah.
think it's a thing, or like everyone that's has their own culture, like, or that's not like that? That's an everyone has their own race time. Like, there's an islander
Yeah.
time.
Late.
There's a filler
Wait.
time.
Yeah, when I went to Samoa, they have Islander time.
Yeah.
They have it over there. It's just like we were, I was there for a youth group thing, and we set like a meeting. Oh, we'll do the prayer meeting over at this time, and then it was like 2 hours later. We're like, what the heck? When are we gonna start this thing? Everybody was late. It was crazy.
Yeah, like I try not to be like I try my best to be on time. I have this little rule where I have to be there 15 minutes early. But with this podcast, I'm kind of like pushing it always, so I'm always on time because I'm pushing it, I guess. But like with filler time, I try to reduce that as much as possible, just because filler time exists. Does that happen to you guys? Do you try to be like fight the mold and fight the stereotype and don't be?
So you're
like,
trying to fight the mold, basically.
I think it's different though.
Yeah.
Like it's
I'm
like well,
yeah.
everybody's late except
Right.
for Japanese and German people.
That seems to
Yeah.
be the thing, eh?
So if anything, if someone was to rock up on time, we should say Japanese time.
You gotta put it that way, right?
Yeah,
Hey, Japanese-
because everyone else had
German precision time. That's when.
What time
if
are you
you're on
coming?
time.
Japanese?
I got a story about
Or
Japanese
Swiss.
a Japanese Uber
German's
driver.
precision
Like
time.
we went to do
Organized,
the
yeah.
Mario Kart, like driving around in the Mario Kart thing, where we in Osaka.
This is in Japan.
This is in
Yep.
Japan. We're in Japan. We're gonna go to Osaka, do the Mario Kart thing, and while we were driving there in our Uber, I realized I forgot my international driver's license, and we're like 2 minutes away from the spot, and then dude's like, "Don't worry, I got this for you," in Japanese accent, whatever you want to do, and
Don't
then he
worry,
turns
don't worry.
around and he went, man, Tokyo drifting that shit to my hotel. And then we grabbed it, and then
And he
we
goes-
went, and we were only 3 minutes late. 3 minutes late, considering
See,
that
I
we.
told
Did
you,
he
man.
drift all the way there?
Yeah, he was
Was
dodging.
it a red Evo? Is it an American guy?
I think it was like
And
I don't know what car it was, but it got to where we needed to be,
he's
and
got a friend, Lil Bow Wow.
and we went back to the hotel, and then we went to the spot with only we're just there for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, that's it. 3 minutes late, and we just missed the training part, which we didn't really need anyway. There was this accelerate and brake, and that's it. So, man, shout outs to Japanese people who really get people on time, man. I really appreciated that, and it saved my day, man. He was like full into it. Was like, you know what? I'll get you. Don't worry about it. I'll get you there, where you want to be on time, and then they made it.
I'd read somewhere apparently that people that are perpetually
do?
late are people that value quality time more. So they'll want to spend time doing something, and the concept of time isn't there. So like when we get to talking on the podcast and we're in the flow, that's when like we don't really think about the time. So a lot of the time,
Yeah.
like people who are late will be doing something and being engrossed in something, be in the flow a lot more than people that aren't.
I love that. I'm gonna
I
use that
love that
excuse,
word.
bro. I'm gonna use that excuse when I'm late. It's like, yeah, when you're late.
I use that excuse. Like if the ATO is going, hey, how come you haven't lodged your taxes yet? I value time.
I was in the flow.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because I
was in the
because I studied Krav Maga, they're very militaristic, right? So we would always say, if you're not early, you're late. It's a very military thing to say, like if you're not early, you're late. And I'm like, far out. Okay, I gotta try extra hard not to be on
You're
Filipino
late
time.
if you're on time and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was on Drumline.
Well,
Is it on Drumline?
shout outs to everyone who are on time, and shout outs to people who appreciate time and are always late. So, you guys are the ones that really appreciate time all together.
Yeah.
So let's get into our first segment. The first segment is always the wild thought of the week,
Hey.
and we have
Wild
Christian
thought.
Wild Thought Garcia. So, what's your wild thought of the week this week?
All right. Well, since we were talking about Uber before, and you're watching us like this now because we're in lockdown, right? Usually we'd be in the studio and stuff. I think mental health is, a big issue. Just keeping our sanity in check. And for us, like being away, like we had this discussion with the cousins, right? Like we were doing a Uber Eats roulette, which is kind of like, hey, I'm gonna order something, you don't know what it is, and then I'm gonna have it sent over to you. You do the same, just to keep things fun. And that's the kind of relationship you have with the family. But what about your significant other? If you can't go and see them, and you know what I mean, so. Like what things that you want to be able to do, like some nice things for your partner, and I'm talking about being intimate as well. So I'm thinking, what if we had an Uber service that was kind of like that, where I want to maybe someone wants to send a blowjob my way and stuff. So, you know what I mean? Like that kind of, and I think for the climate that we're in, it's a market that could definitely we're in the early stages of the market. We could really make some
So
money
you're saying like you're gonna get someone like, oh, I need to take care of my partner, so I'm gonna Uber someone to do the
Hell
deed
yeah.
for me.
And it's they've got to, like, say if I was to work like that, I'm gonna have an app, and then all of a sudden, hey, someone needs a blowjob. And it's like someone's 3 minutes away. So like,
Sounds
what
like
I plan to
straight up.
I plan to call it Uber-Skeets instead of Uber Eats.
Yeah,
And I think it should definitely work. Like,
Skeet in less than
because it's
3
definitely
minutes.
like it sounds. It's not. You can definitely like differentiate it from the normal Uber. But in place like say if it was
Yeah.
in Philippines though, I reckon I'd call it Grab. That's it. Because
Straight up
Grab
Grab.
already sounds sus, bro.
Grab.
I don't even plan to change their
No,
one.
just
I'm
call it
gonna
just call it Grabe.
Grab it. Yeah, there you go.
Grabe.
Grab.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like and then you can do the share rides and stuff. The share rides.
Yo, you wanna split a blowjob?
Split.
I got a discount code, bro.
It's much cheaper if there's two of us.
Uber Skeet. We can
That's great.
2 skeets for
that's
one,
great.
bro. Hop in.
Uber X and all that shit.
Uber X.
Uber XL.
Shared ride.
Excellent.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna pitch that
man.
idea to Uber, see how that goes.
I reckon you are onto something, man.
I like
You're
the
onto
name,
something.
man,
You
bro.
are onto something. Like
You're trying to reinvigorate the sex industry, especially when OnlyFans is banning content and all that stuff.
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't believe that.
that's funny.
Sex makes the world go round.
Yeah, not
And all-
damn.
I can just imagine it because you know how people just leave the food onto the porch just randomly, like because like they don't want to see and they just leave. you just get a flashlight.
Just drop a
You just got a
blowjob.
flashlight to the front. They just leave.
Oh
man.
man,
That's a bit wild.
that was very wild. That was so wild.
I understood the assignment.
I kind of miss these wild thoughts, man. Last week we're talking about Filipino language. I'm like, oh man, it's not wild. And then
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, that wasn't wild
was
enough. I
tame
think it was
as.
like, you know what?
Here we go.
To be
I got a
honest,
wild
think
one up.
I wasn't really prepared at that time. Hey, I think it's because I took a shower afterwards. These thoughts usually come in the shower. it
Wild.
it comes to me. No wait, that's even worse.
Ejaculate.
Oh, bro, you just
Yeah.
you just made it. You made the slogan Uber-Skeets. We come to you.
Oh god.
All right, let's segue to something a bit more formal. So we got Don with the news.
Oh man, formal. I'm not dressed for the occasion.
You don't have the right sleeves for the job.
I'm not wearing the right sleeves for the job.
Left
But
the sleeves at home.
I'll tell you what, one of the things I wanted to talk about was there was a new challenge going around, and mostly happening in America. It's called the Milk Crate Challenge. And what they usually do is they take some milk
Sorry,
crates.
we
I've
just
seen
talked
this.
about wild things, and now you're mentioning milk. Great. All right, continue.
I mean, also you can have that delivered to your
What do you
place.
think?
Anyway, what they do is they stack them up in a pyramid, so it goes into a step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 milk crates stacked up high and then back down again. And the mission, or as you will, the aim of it is for you to walk up to the 5th stack and then back down again. And the thing is, with milk crates, they
They're
are not
stable.
very sturdy on their own. And there are so many videos of people out there stacking it and just like eating shit because, they're trying to do this milk crate challenge. If you look at Snoop Dogg's Instagram, he's posting them up all of the damn time.
I was gonna say-
It hurts. It hurts to watch, man. Like, do you remember that TV show, Funniest Home Videos?
yeah.
Yeah.
With injuries.
Like, a little bit of... it gets to a point where, like, yeah, it's kind of funny, but then it gets to the point where you're just like, these people are just hurting themselves. This isn't funny anymore. And that's what is happening with this milk crate challenge. I really want them to win. I want them to, get to the top and then get back down
Has
again
anyone
without
ever
hurting
done that?
themselves.
Or is it?
Some people have,
Yeah.
like, very few.
I think it's 6
How
stack.
high
right?
are we talking?
Yeah, it's
I've
like
seen
5
one.
or 6.
I didn't know this
it's
was
like
a
5 or
challenge.
6.
I just thought it was
milk
a
crates
thing.
stacked high.
6 stacks.
That's the top of the peak, and then back down again.
So that's about 2 meters, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
about 2 meters.
Yeah.
That's like as tall as us.
And if you
Yeah.
fall, you're gonna be landing on milk crates, and
Yeah,
and
bro.
that's not like something safe at all.
And who knows? And they're calling it the Hood Olympics. They're calling it the Hood Olympics. I saw one guy land like on his back onto a milk crate, and you see he's just, it's painful to watch, man.
Hey, man.
Anyway, the Huffington Post have posted up an article that says that TikTok is banning the milk crate challenge videos, citing safety concerns. So they're removing it from their website. If you try to search in hashtag milk crate challenge, there will be no results on there. So anytime anybody tries to put up that on the website, then it'll get taken down. It'll get banned. Because apparently, so TikTok prohibits content that promotes or glorifies dangerous acts, and we remove videos and redirect searches to our community guidelines to discourage such content. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that
When we gonna do it?
that it
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Don, I'm disappointed now that you've mentioned it, that now we're talking about a content that we can't even post on TikTok, or else we'll get no views. What's the use of this content?
I'd be interested to see if we can post this, post about us talking about it, and see if it gets taken down. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
What are they just making up? Like, the videos will still keep going up if it's a trend, right? There must be like other hashtags, or they're banning everything related to it, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, the article
Totally
says
right.
that they're banning anything that looks like that
The
glorifies or promotes dangerous acts. So if they see anything like that,
Well, in Australia, the milk crate is a really strong weapon to hold people down.
Everything's a weapon in Australia.
We held down people who with knives running around the city with a friggin' milk crate.
I
I remember that.
motherfucker, man.
Holy
Oh, is
shit!
this?
Do you
Yeah,
remember
so-
that?
you
There was
remember
that
that?
knife
That was last
guy. There was a
year.
knife fight or something, and
There was
then
a guy who was
they pinned him
like,
down.
they pinned
with
him
a
down.
milk crate.
He killed one person, but he was on a craze
Whoa.
trying to kill more people.
Just casually.
And then one guy got a milk crate and then held him down with the milk crate, and that's how we
Trapped him.
saved that. To me proves that the milk crate
It's an effective
is
tool.
effective tool, not to climb on, but to protect yourself.
Good save, Raph.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
You should
think
keep milk crates as a safety device, like just hook it to the back of your backpack or something.
It's like the
just for
next to the
safety,
fire
you know?
extinguisher.
Instead of pepper sprays, just keep a milk crate with you.
it's a common object, but
Or you could put drinks in it
You could.
and then hold it.
It's
like,
multi-purpose. It's multi-purpose.
Don used to steal them at our old work. We used to.
Did you use them as like
stock-
a desk, or what is it, for a TV unit?
No, you
stand?
keep
No.
all the vinyls and stuff in them.
Oh, that's actually alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, back when I was DJing, we put the vinyls and the records
Yeah,
inside
I
the milk
remember that
crates.
because it's a perfect fit too, eh? The good dimensions, eh?
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you use them as chairs and then turn it into a cafe? Like every Newtown freaking cafe.
When I
Every
when I
hipster.
first moved out, I was living in a share house and like I didn't have any furniture.
Yeah.
So the chairs that we were using were
crates.
milk crates.
I thought Don was going to say, like, he was holding people down with milk crates and stealing their furniture. It came in handy.
You know, I'd love to do this challenge if there was a little level
Do
of
it on a
safety.
trampoline,
So
though.
if you had like a slack line where, you know, if you fell off, then it would hold you up so that you don't crack your neck on a milk crate.
Where do you
I think that
get
would be
milk
cool.
Crates? I never really understood where they came from. They just
At the corner shop.
but you don't take them, right? The shops, do they reuse them?
You don't. We do.
Like, how do you get them? Like, where do you get them from? Like, you don't.
Do you reckon if you show a person like a millennial or someone who's born in say 2010, show a picture of a milk crate, do you reckon they'll say it's a sitting device?
It's a sitting.
They're gonna say it's a challenge.
They're like,
That's
oh,
what it is.
That's the challenge thing, right? It's like, no.
Because I don't think
We were
I don't
due
think
for
they'll
another
know
stupid
that.
challenge.
When
though,
was the
right?
last challenge that we did?
Yeah,
When was
It's
the
been
last
a while.
Well, probably before we went
Which
into
was what?
lockdown.
I can't
to
even
be
remember
honest.
doing a challenge.
Like
No, but
sometime
what
last
was the
year.
I think it started off with planking,
Planking,
and then
planking.
people eating the detergent fucking
Tide
ball,
Pods.
Tide Pods.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like because of TikTok, there's got to be
Oh,
more.
remember
stupid
that
challenge
spinning
out-
one that I
challenges
did at
out
the
there, man.
start? You all mocked it. And that's when I was getting into TikTok, and you guys laughed at me. And now you just blew up the TikTok.
Because it's funny.
Freaking laughed at me, and
because
now
it was funny. He was sitting on the ground. And then he would slowly
Yeah.
turn and make
He's a
it look
hater.
like he wasn't turning.
It's called
He's
the
a hater,
microwave
bro. Yeah, the
challenge.
microwave challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joji. Don's a hater, bro. What a hater, man. Such a hater, man.
Yeah. I'm only hating because I couldn't do it.
That's
I
how
couldn't do it
I
myself.
So you see, hey Don,
Bless you, Ahmed.
do you? So this milk crate challenge,
Yeah.
you can say that it piqued your interest, right?
Yes. I
And-
guess.
And you watched the Spider-Man trailer, and that piqued no interest at all.
Cut his mic off. Cut his mic
Not
off.
Good
impressed.
segue. Good segue.
Don's not part of this conversation.
So
Are we gonna talk about? We're gonna
Alright,
talk
let's
about
go,
this.
let's
Or
do
just
it,
talk
let's
about
do it,
this?
let's Spider-Man.
So because like Don was like, Don is that guy.
Unimpressed.
I would like to say that Don is that guy who's just not impressed, not really piquing his interest. He's the type of guy to be like, "Hey guys, have you seen the new Spider-Man trailer?" Because it dropped a couple of days ago. I don't know when, but then he messages us and say, "So, do you seen the Spider-Man trailer?" And
Metaverse?
everyone's like, "Oh yeah, looks good, looks hectic.
Yeah,
Oh man, multiverse this, multiverse that. Oh, where's it going?" And then Don's like, "I'm not interested."
Do you do that to get a reaction?
Maybe because yeah, no. Is it the same reason
Against
why
the
you have no
grain.
sleep? It's because of attention.
Let the man speak. Let him.
I'll tell you. No,
Defend
to be
himself.
honest, I would have. So for the previous Spider-Man trailers and stuff, I was pretty hyped, right? This one, I'm not that hyped about. I think it's two things, or maybe one of two things, or maybe both. One is all of the spoilers that have been happening. You know, like I've been hearing stuff about, okay, you know, Tobey Maguire is going to be in it, Andrew Garfield's going to be in it, there's going to be Dr. Octopus, Jamie Foxx is going to be in it, all of this stuff. And so when I saw it, I wasn't surprised because I already knew what was going to happen or who was going to be in it. The other part is it's loosely based on a comic book story called One More Day by, like, in the comic universe, where Spider-Man's identity is revealed and then he makes a deal with the Marvel devil named Mephisto, and you know, he in order for everybody to forget his secret identity, he has to break up with MJ. And because I'm not really close to that, I never really read that comic. I'm not really close to that. I'm kind of just like, not, nah, yeah.
Wouldn't it be the other way around though, Don? Because you haven't seen that comic or know that story,
Nah,
then
he's a
you'd be more
purist.
interested
He's
to
a
see this
purist.
rather than
comic book
Yeah.
first. Has to be yeah.
I don't know.
You're
I don't.
Spider-Man Maxi. Okay.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. Those
Doesn't
are the
this
two
one tie
reasons
into
why
the
I
whole
think
Sinister
I'm
Six
not that
thing?
impressed about it.
It will, right? That's classic shit, man.
Yeah, apparently so. That's what it'll tie into that. Like nowadays, you're gonna have to expect, because we're living in a world where spoilers or the rumor mill is in existence. Like we're always gonna see rumors, casting announcements, like spoilers, backstage, behind the scenes footage. All this stuff it's all gonna be on the internet, no matter what. Like we're gonna have to just forget about being surprised and enjoy and be surprised of how they execute it. You know, like I'm gonna speak your language, Don. I will speak your language, Don. So imagine going on a date. You know the steps of the date. You know the steps of, like, let's shorten it up. You know the steps of sex, right? Sex is always gonna be the same thing over and over again. But
Escalated really quickly.
yes. So we're gonna simplify it. You know the beats of the steps. You're gonna take off your clothes. You might kiss here and there. Get a blowjob here and there, and you're gonna go in, come, and out. So that's the steps. That's going to be kind of like what you see. You're going to be like seeing movies. They're going to always have the same steps. They're going to have the same. You're going to know what's going to be in the process. But execution, man, if they're executed well, you'd be like, wow, this is one of the best nights of my life. You know, it's all about the execution, not the process, man. Because we know what's in the kitchen. We know what's in the kitchen. We know what's in the chicken, but the way someone cooks it, whoo, you're gonna have to be impressed by that.
I do have to say, I am pretty impressed about how they're trying to bring together the Sony universe and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So before the Spider-Man property, the IP was being held by Sony, and Marvel was trying to take that back, and obviously there was some things going back and forth. And before, I think it was before Far From Home, they were saying that there wasn't going to be any more Spider-Man in the Marvel universe, but they managed to kind of tie it off into this a way for both the Sony universe and the Marvel universe to exist together.
Yeah, aren't you excited about that? Like, aren't you?
I am. That's
premise.
That's what I'm excited about. That's what I'm excited about. But like in terms of the trailer, I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
But
you know,
I look at this video and trailer, and I look at the past trailers that Marvel's done. Sometimes you just can't trust a Marvel trailer. They're gonna throw a curveball, and knowing Spider-Man movies that they've done in the past with Tom Holland, they're gonna ground the story to make it more ground-based level rather than super.
What do you mean ground level?
Thing.
Like more
I think the only ground level, like with Vulture, it's a human character. The villain's a ground level villain. Even in Far From Home, like you realize that he is not this character that he's making out himself to be. Yeah, he's a ground level human. He's a guy who knows like CGI and shit to fool everyone. So I think there's gonna be some sort of twist that makes the villain of this, whoever it will be, whether it be one of the Sinister Six or Mephisto or whichever character, they're gonna ground that person down. And I don't know what's Tom Holland's contract with the Marvel Studios type of thing and Sony's agreement. This could end up being a way of getting Tom Holland out of the MCU and turning it into a Sonyverse. Like, but wait, they could easily do that.
Who's Sony again? Like, which Marvels sit in that? Is that like Deadpool? Oh, the shit.
That was
so Sony owns Spider-Man. Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, so that Sony owns anything that Spider-Man.
Oh no.
Sony owns, but they did a collab with Marvel Studios so they could bring out put Spider-Man into the universe. But if the deal's out, this could be an easy way out. Like, it's kind of like how the X-Men they did Days of Futures Past, and they just kind of like erased everything before it, and this is the new X-Men type of thing. They could literally do that with this and be like, this is now a new multiverse. Now we're in this new timeline, and then this is just going to be the new Tom Holland timeline where it's mixed in with the Sony stuff, and Venom could be introduced into this world and all that stuff. So I'm thinking that's not what I want to do or want to see. I'm hoping that's not their way of being like, all right, cool, we're going to just create different timelines, and now this is going to be the Sony Spider-Man timeline, and in future MCU movies, Tom Holland's not going to be there. His Spider-Man's not going to be in there. And anything
Is there plans? Do you guys know if there's plans to put the two together? Venom and the current Spider-Man?
Yeah, there's plans. There's plans. There might be plans. Yeah. I think
you guys seen the trailer for that one with Carnage? I think it's like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
I was
You didn't like it? I figured.
I just realized Don and Christian are the two sides of the coin when it comes to trailers. Don be like not impressed about trailers. Christian's thinking it's the whole movie.
He's like,
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
I mean, there's a guy with the powers of a spider.
He must be a Spider-Man.
But like, have you ever guys thought about like if what would happen if actually the whole thing was just a troll?
That would be funny.
Like the Marvel's used to it. Marvel's done trolls before.
Yeah.
Like,
But
If
there's
the
no
entire
movie?
premise of the trailer is no. Imagine if like that whole trailer premise is not actually what's in the movie. It's like completely different.
yeah, imagine that was
Does
just
Marvel
the first
actually
5
do that?
minutes.
I don't think
and
they've
then
ever
that's
done
it.
that, right?
They do that in terms of like some of their trailers.
And the
they're
back,
different.
but that's normal
So,
movies.
in
I've
the-
heard of
movies
that
anyway.
scenes.
Bro.
Yeah.
Always that dude cuts.
So like in Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, they showed all of them running, and also like Hulk was there, and all of them were in one shot.
Yeah.
But then in the actual movie, that wasn't the case.
Yeah. And Marvel's
was-
done it.
he was-
They did in my
Yeah.
Iron Man 3, Mandarin's not the Mandarin, it's some actor.
Yeah.
And they even done it in Far From Home. They teased the multiverse, like what you call it, Mysterio's from another timeline, and then he wasn't.
He
He was just
a
acting it
CGI
out,
guy.
like so. He's just
That's
a
good,
CGI
though.
guy.
I mean,
like,
they give you a bit of a taste, and then later on, he's like, here's the full meal, you know?
Mm.
They don't want to
And
give
then
it all up.
They even did it with they even did it in WandaVision by casting the guy from
Yeah.
the guy that was Quicksilver in the Fox movies.
And then he's not really Quicksilver.
Oh, you know
He's
what?
just-
Wait, have you guys seen the
yeah.
new Suicide Squad?
Yes.
Has anyone
No.
else? Oh, I don't want to spoil it then.
Yeah,
but you know what
sure.
I'm talking about, right? The start.
Oh, no, go ahead.
The,
I
the, the,
don't
intro,
mind.
the intro.
yeah.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And like no,
It's a
but yeah, it's a
misdirect.
misdirect.
Yeah.
Like it's got the Captain Boomerangs in it, and he's all over the trailers. So you think it's like bringing these back, but then they just all get killed off, and I was like, that's cool.
Cool. But no spoilers.
But no
hey?
spoilers, no spoilers.
Hey,
My
hey,
bad.
hey, nuts.
Hey, the movie's been out for about a month now. If you haven't seen it or like found a good copy of it on the internet, shout out
Dude,
to
I thought that
piracy.
was such a good movie.
But
Yeah.
we don't condone.
We don't
any of
condone
that.
it,
We don't
but, like,
condone.
We don't condone
No.
piracy. Buy your digital assets and stuff.
But yeah, I am excited about the trailer. I know the trailer. I don't get these things. Like, I'm still wrapping my head around what's a trailer and what's a teaser. They said this is a teaser. I don't know what that
Teaser's
means.
smaller, isn't it? A
Yeah,
trailer
but it
is
was
like
3 minutes long.
Shorter, yeah.
How long was a teaser?
I don't know.
Teaser's like 30
Yeah, teaser
seconds.
would be
But
like-
this one's called Spider-Man No Way Home teaser.
But what? It's like
Teaser
but
trailer.
it's 3
People
minutes.
teased by it,
Yeah,
though?
it's
3 minutes.
teased, though.
Were you
Was
teased? Were you
that like
insulted?
this, or was it like that?
I did.
How far? Huh?
It was half soft. It was half.
I
It
think
was like
once you go beyond
was it just-
9
that's
degrees, it's a
Was it
trailer.
just
Trailer.
was it just a
Trailer.
tip or was it?
Hey man, it was just a tip. If they want to go balls deep, they'll show me the 3 Spider-Mans.
There you
Like
go.
that's the balls deep version
That's
of it.
giving it to
All
Raph.
3
Balls
Spider-Mans swinging. I'm like,
That's how you
oh
give it to
shit!
Raph, man.
I'm a swing with you guys, bro. I'm using this. I'm a swing with you guys. Bro.
Oh man.
But like, yeah, like I'm excited to see the movie, man. Like, I'm hoping that we're not in lockdown by then, or out of lockdown by then. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Shang-Chi is going to be. They're going to trial releasing it in the theaters first without going onto the streaming platform.
that usually means
Um,
they'll put on the theaters for 2 days, and
back
then
on.
2 days time it'll be in the streaming sites.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, man.
I suppose it all goes, like, depends on how the Delta thing goes in America, hey?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think
Because that could change things
that could
around.
change things
Like,
around.
if they're planning to make it theaters only, and then there's
Yeah.
like a massive lockdown in America.
Yeah. So, are you trying to make me hope that Delta variant spreads so we can get the movie in streaming sites in Australia?
Trying to bring them down to our level.
It's so
It's
bad.
unfair that they're happy.
They're out and about having concerts and shit.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting as well the way that the industry works is because they like the producers will put up money for the film and then they'll hope to get at least some of that back, right? And I think the worry is when they're putting it on the streaming platforms, they're not going to get enough money. That it's not going to get the same. It'll probably get just as much views, if not more, if it were going to be on a like in theaters and stuff. But the amount of revenue that they can produce if it's released on streaming platforms is probably not as much.
Oh yeah, especially like how much these movies
yeah.
cost. Man,
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're gonna knock 'em- They're not gonna hit their budgets if they stick
It's
to
like-
streaming.
Like what Nats was saying last week, how if we were to go to the movies, like say, or 5 of us would go, That's what $18-19 each for. That's $100 in their pocket.
Yeah.
But essentially, like for a household, you buy it for $40, $30.
There you go.
And,
Everyone can watch
that's 5 people watching it. They've already lost so much money.
it. We can share one account.
But we don't endorse that. We don't condone that. We don't condone that.
But we don't condone it.
We don't condone that. Speaking about not sharing accounts, so apparently I heard from Garcia that OnlyFans is going back to explicit content. They're not taking it out anymore. Everything that we said last episode is now debunked.
It's irrelevant. Old news.
And not valid and irrelevant. So is it true that OnlyFans is keeping their explicit content?
Yeah, the people won. I think there was so much
Out of the
flack
people.
that this is democracy at its finest.
Was it that they're bringing it back, or was it that there can still be kind of nudity on the site, but it's not, you can't do sexual acts?
It was a different thing. So I think we got it all like twisted. So there's creators and there's users, right? I'm a user. I can't put nudity stuff, fucking sending dick pics and shit to people. They're gonna ban all that stuff on OnlyFans. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But the creators can still do what they do, like make
Explicit
content. Yeah. Now I think when they caught flack, they were like, "No, let's just leave it and leave it the way it is." Which, I mean, it's the people power, man. They can't hold us down. There's no.
Can't hold us down.
Can't hold us down.
We want our
Let's
freedom.
put it-
Sharing our nudity.
Speaking of the people, do we have any questions from the listeners? Producer Ahmed.
I think
Our
I was just been
voices were
chilling.
heard.
I was like, oh shit.
There's nothing in the chat at the moment. They were just going on about
it's
the
been like-
balut
it's been
for a
going
while
nuts.
and where to get it from.
There's
Where we can get
some
balut from.
NFTs.
Yes, that was it earlier.
What are your thoughts on OnlyFans, Ahmed? And does this affect your OnlyFans channel?
It does. I don't need to become a life coach or anything anymore again. I can continue what I've been doing.
Hey,
to
why not
make
do
my
both?
income
Because like
on OnlyFans.
Garcia learned how to speak. He learned how to do makeup and speak Korean through perving on Korean makeup artists videos. So if they can make an OnlyFans that's educational and like life empowering, self empowering, then man, all power to you, man. I've yet to see someone like that, like full stripping and doing sexual acts while saying, "Man, you can do it. It's not about the destination; it's about the journey." Like I've yet to see it. Like if you can combine both, man, I'll probably you can learn something.
I think I found my niche.
We got a
guys.
comment from the. We got a comment,
Denise.
not a question. A comment from the chat from Non-Fungible Gang. I love how 50% of your chat is about OnlyFans.
Businessmen
We're
here.
businessmen.
It's topical. It's just topical.
I'm like, how long?
Hey
how
man,
long
we
we
do
been
it
talking
only
about
for the
this
fans,
OnlyFans?
man.
Well, we're helping Garcia,
It's
man.
market discussion.
He's an innovator.
He's one of the boys, one of the
pioneer.
innovators, one of the
I'm in the
creators.
top 99%.
Top 99%.
Pioneer.
But yeah, like power to the people.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We
to
won,
everyone.
guys. We won.
We won, man.
Yeah, it was like Deadpool, Snyderverse, OnlyFans.
We did it.
Yeah, man.
Let's make an NFT for that too.
Yeah, man.
Someone asked like how many of us have tried balut?
To us.
Okay, let's do.
I haven't.
Let's have a
I've-
blood conversation because I really want to make a TikTok snippet about blood. People have been asking about it. People have been saying, let's talk about street food, Filipino street food. All right, let's do it. This is going to be one of
Actually,
the
yeah, let me
questions. So, like, what's your thoughts on blood? I know we've have spoken about this before. Let's get into some detail, in-depth conversation about the blood.
The
we're
balut's
back to
not too
balut.
bad though. I mean, the broth part, but the other street foods. Have you guys tried the I think it's
Nah,
chicken
don't do that,
intestines, and it's like in a
That's
squiggly kind of.
freaky, bro.
They put it on the stick. Have you guys tried any
I'm not
like
into
I've tried a bunch of it. I don't remember because it was so long ago. I've had balut before. I like balut. And you drinking the soup. I don't get that. I don't get too squeamish when there's the embryo in there. but I also like eating the yolk, the egg yolk, because it's really really creamy. It's creamier than chicken egg. But that's
So is it like, I've never tried it before. In terms of creamy, is it like a milky taste, or is the broth more of a soupy taste? You know what I mean?
the broth is like a soup. It's like a
Yeah.
duck
Question:
soup almost.
being that it's
It's
an
so
egg,
good, bro.
how's it flavored? Or do you just take it for what it is? It's already flavored the way that it is. Or what? Do you put like sauce in it?
You can kind of because when you crack it open, I mean, effectively the duck embryo is boiled inside the egg. So whatever flavoring within the duck embryo,
Oh yeah,
that's
like,
what is
like a boiled egg. Yeah, that's
had
right.
in the
It's already cooked.
yeah in the egg. But then you add salt and
Oh,
maybe
but this-
vinegar onto it or something, or
Yeah, some caviar
Toyo.
if you're rich.
yeah, eggs
Put
on
some,
eggs, man.
Some truffle oil.
I really
God damn.
I really want
Could
to
you imagine, bro? Like 5-star restaurants in Phils that sell balut, and they put it just to make it, you know,
Truffle
like
oil.
a gold leaf or some bullshit, like
Hey,
you know, to make it a.
if French
a Michelin
restaurants
star
can
balut.
sell escargot, and like they even give it a nice name, escargot, and just really give snails, you know, and put it into a platter. Like I've been to a French restaurant and it was literally snails on a platter. And I'm like,
Have
you
you
know what,
guys tried
Filipinos
it?
can
I've
do
tried
this
snails.
shit, you know? Like Filipinos
Never
can
tried
make
it.
a lot of things. Like,
I didn't like it. I didn't like the snail
weird.
thing. Hey,
yeah.
It's like yeah.
Oh, well, like, is it
I
because
think-
you knew it's
Yeah,
a
it's
snail?
'cause I knew
Because
it was a
I've
snail.
tried it, and I tried to change my brain into thinking that this is not a snail and see how it tastes, so I could be objective of it. And
I mean-
it's a bit slimy. I could just relate it to probably like a sardine.
Sardine.
That's
Yeah.
what it. Yes, a sardine, like eating a like a small sardine but with no bones. You know what I mean?
You know. I'll tell you what. The thing with balut, right? Just bring it back to balut for a second. It's just like having a chicken egg. Like if you're not averse to a chicken egg, then you wouldn't be averse to the duck egg. Yes, some people can kind of be squeamish because there's an embryo in it. You can get some less formed embryos, so it'll be mostly just a yolk and the
yeah,
soup.
that's called penoy.
Penoy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it's the same thing, and I think if you really want to try it, maybe
That
start
one's
with
really good.
penoy. Start with penoy, and then make your way to the fully formed embryo.
I don't know, man.
Um,
Ned
but no-
says
yeah.
Viets add ginger and herbs on it.
Yeah,
Do we
That's
do that
fancy.
too? No.
we just
In
add salt,
Newtown, they
bro.
put sriracha and
Oh, yeah,
shit.
of course.
Man,
They put sriracha on everything.
I want to
And
try
they'll
it.
sell it in a jar.
I'm gonna try it.
instead.
I'm
of
gonna make it
Do
a
you want to
mission
do
to
it?
try it.
Like
balut.
I'll get
No, I really
I'll
do.
get one. We can do it on the podcast. Just
You
for the
guys,
just for
is
the
that
challenge.
legal over
I
there?
don't know
Nats?
actually. Let me try find out. Is balut?
Check on the underground on the black market.
I want to
See
try
someone
both
with a trench coat selling
Filipino
balut.
a Filipino balut as well as a Viet balut, Vietnamese balut. I want to try them both.
There's
just to
nothing
see
about
what
it
it's like.
being illegal. I'm sure it's not. It's just
Hmm.
an egg.
Just like look for someone that owns ducks, and then
Just snipe one of the eggs.
Snipe
Snipe.
one.
Make our own balut.
yoink.
Yoink.
It's
Mine now. I think you can.
So what other street foods are there? While we get that, because like
And then he
Oh,
goes,
we're just gonna do a
that'll be
massive
£5.
Fish balls. So there's fish balls,
Alright.
which is like the usual.
Yeah.
That's not that.
I want to
Oh,
shout
that
out
I've seen in
to I want to
Philippines.
shout outs to High Minds from
It
TikTok.
looks so gross.
He wants
man.
to
It looks
say
so
he
bad.
says
Frog legs. I haven't
talk
tried
about
frog
Filipino
legs.
street foods like fish ball. So
I heard that frog legs do taste like chicken wings.
My God, it's so disgusting,
meat
guys.
is like-
I'm looking at the freaking pictures.
Yeah?
Of a lot. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn this off. It's like a wow.
Hang on. We had a question from one of our listeners or one of our viewers. Ralph, can you say that again, man?
Sorry, guys.
oh yeah, it's all right. So one of our viewers, High Minds, wants to say he says talk about Filipino street foods like fish ball. So like, what are the Filipino street foods? The high and not high end, but like the best Filipino street foods that you guys taste.
Barbecue sticks, bro. They always
Oh,
they always go off. You know when
yeah.
what's that one in Sydney in the park and there's a Taste of Asia.
Hoi Pinoy.
No. Yeah, well, Hoi Pinoy is the stand, but it's like it's the Asian supermarket, super whatever it is. I don't know what it's called, but the line for the barbecue sticks never slows down. It's just non-stop. They're just pumping sticks. $10.
There's like, okay,
What makes
There's
what
isaw,
makes a barbecue stick a barbecue, like a Filipino barbecue stick? Because you
it's
can make
sweet. It's sweet, right?
I think it's that marinade,
Yeah,
and then you have to put the fatty bit at the very bottom.
Yeah, I love that bit, and it's great that they put it at the bottom. It's well like strategic in a manner.
Best,
Like
you save the best for last kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I love
Little
it.
bit of
It's like the
cholesterol.
last bite. When you get the last bite and it's the fatty end, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. I love that.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, there's stuff
Mamacita.
like the isaw, there's Betamax, which is the pig blood or chicken blood on a like solidified on a stick.
Right.
I need to try these
cheese
street foods.
sticks,
Mm.
fish balls, of course,
Yeah,
squid balls.
I love fish balls.
Sorbetes.
There's
got a
another
few
one
here,
called
yes,
Kwek
delicacy in
Kwek. I don't
Paris
know
too.
what's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that though.
Quack is
What's it? Say that again.
Kwek Kwek.
Quack.
I
Is
think
that a
most
duck
I've
as
never
well?
heard of this one
Sorry,
before.
hold
What
on.
is this?
Quack is quail eggs, right?
I'm not sure, man.
What do you mean by quail eggs? Is it like blood style quail eggs, or is it just like?
Like it's just like a hard boiled quail egg.
But
Just like this tiny
I've
egg.
seen what it looks like. Then there's like it looks like there's batter around it, and then it's deep fried. But I don't know. I've never tried what it is. Like I've never had one. So
Man,
I couldn't
Can we-
tell
I've had
you.
quail eggs before. You know what my favorite thing is though?
Quail eggs are
It-
nice and hot pot. Sorry, I had to add that.
That's all good. My favorite street food is taho.
Oh yeah.
Can you
taho.
describe that to me?
Taho.
describe it. To
And
me.
I love it because of the experience or the memory that I had with it, right? So staying with my cousins in the Philippines, you'd hear the taho man walking down the street. He'd be coming up the street and he's yelling taho taho, and he'd have the he's carrying the freaking things on his back and he's just walking along the street.
Sick, yeah.
And so my cousins would grab a glass or a cup or anything that they can find,
You get a
and they
bowl.
usually they grab the biggest one that they could find, and then go to the guy and they'd ask for the pabili po. They're asking for taho, and so he'd put the taho into the cup, and then they'd pay for however much they get.
Yeah.
That was the memory, and I loved every single time. It was like the ice cream truck. Growing up, and you hear the ice cream truck coming up the road, you'd run for it. And for us in the Philippines, it was taho.
Yeah.
Last time I went there, which was 2019, the taho man now has a bike, like he's on a motorbike or a tricycle, and he doesn't yell out taho as much as he used to now. He just kind of drives past, and I'm pretty sure he just whispers it. He's just like taho.
And people know.
Why would he whisper it? Is it more so like you can't?
Because
do
I
it?
never heard him.
Okay.
Because all my cousins would be like, the whole man's coming, and I'm like, how do you know? He's not yelling.
It's probably the sound
Like,
of
no, I just know, I
his
just
bike.
know.
You have to listen to the engine, like a certain engine.
There's like a GPS thing, and it makes your phone vibrate when he's near you.
It's an app. It's an app.
Yeah.
Like you go,
It's a
oh, the
whole
whole
guy.
man's coming.
With the whole app.
Taho
I saw
eats.
I saw this meme
Not that.
recently of so that the hot guy is walking down the street, right? And then this young kid goes, "Oh, can I get one?" And he goes, "Can I get one with 30% sugar and extra boba, like extra pills?" And then the hot man was like, "I don't need this bullshit." He keeps walking. And he's like, "Kuya, come back."
I guess
Is this an ad or is it?
No, it was like a
did it actually
meme.
happen?
Meme.
Oh, it's a meme. Yeah.
30%
And I think-
sugar.
just for context for all of the non-Filipino listeners out there, taho is like a silken soft tofu in a sugar syrup, and sometimes they put sago pearls or like
Yeah.
the
That
sago
shit's so
pearls.
good, man. And every time when he stops,
Tried.
like he puts the pole down, opens that up, and he's got it's like a little sandok for rice, yeah, and that's
Yeah,
what
it's
he
a
uses
little
to cut
spoon.
the thing. But
Yeah.
there's like water that builds up at the top, so he has to fucking spoon that shit out. I used to fucking love that shit, man. Like, yeah, he'll just he'll press the spoon down, and then like all the water would go into it, and he'll chuck it out. For some reason, that was my favorite part. He was just
Man, just listening to you
And then
guys
he's
just
got the
talking about
nice
your childhood
cream.
memories of this like taho.
Yeah,
guy.
you don't remember.
Like
that.
I feel like I missed out,
Missing
man.
out.
Like being in Australia, just living in Australia, all we had was the ice cream, man. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
the
you
ice cream
guys had like
sound.
street
Home
foods
ice
and
cream.
stuff like
Green sleeves.
Yeah, man. I feel like your experience is much better than just the ice cream music playing and just running for it. You guys have like some sort of joy when you guys speak those stories, man.
it's we focus on the I mean, we had like malaria, so it swings and roundabouts.
It was
Yeah.
like dengue, right?
Dengue.
Dengue, yeah.
Dengue fever.
We had. You know,
I don't have many
we
memories
tried-
of the fields, but
Silver
that is one
lining.
of my memories. The Tahoe guy.
Dengue.
No, not dengue, bro. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Do you guys? When was the last time you went to fields? Because you guys co-regular, eh? Garcia and Don, or even
No, so I moved to Australia in '93. The first time I went back was 2001,
shit.
and then I didn't go back until like 2014.
Oh, that's a long time.
And then the most recent was 2019.
Oh, because that's
Yeah.
fairly recent. No, because like mine is like
Yeah.
I was probably early 20s, so it's more than 10 years. But I do remember the Tahoe
Yeah.
guy because like they. But do you guys remember? There's like all these weird wildlife or like the little plants that get shy when you touch them. It's
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and then they
they're like,
close up.
"Oi, hala." They're like, oi, hala,"
Yeah.
and then they go away.
They call that a shark plant, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Don't touch. And then and then they got the one. I think it's like it makes bubbles. You know what I'm talking about? Or did
Yeah,
I
a
imagine
plant.
that? It's a
A plant
plant.
makes
You
a
can make
bubble.
bubbles from it. Maybe I imagined that shit. Is that real?
Bro, I don't
Wait, did
even
it come in
know.
a little silver tube with a straw?
Bro, no, that's
'Cause that's-
freaking. Isn't that the thing? That's that toy, bro. Okay, maybe I imagined
yeah.
that. Maybe the bubbles isn't true, but I do remember those plants.
I remember
The mahiya, that's the one. The
where my-
makahiya is the name. Makahiya,
Mahi.
that's the one.
Yeah, makahia is the one that would
Makahia.
close up.
Is that the plant that gets
Yeah,
shy?
yeah, it's literally called.
funny.
What does the plant do again?
Don't,
What does it do?
don't touch. Don't touch me.
It's just out like this, and then when you touch it,
Yeah.
it's like, ooh.
No touch.
And
You
then
can hear
closes.
it. If you listen to the plants like real, like it's very light, but it's like I'm shy, and then it closes up.
What a plant.
Oh man.
I think everyone
Well-
has that plant in their personality. Like if you compliment Don about his arms, he'd be like, "Oh no, man, it's just hard work." You know, he just closes it up. Like I'm pretty sure everyone has that plant in their personality, and for sure.
I've worked pretty hard to be able to accept compliments. So I used to really get, and I don't know why. Like I used to get angry when people would compliment me on my arms or whatever.
Yet he
to a
reveals
point
them all the
where
time.
somebody put somebody
Sorry.
somebody was like, "Hey man, you're like got really strong. You look really strong," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like just straight away, like shut the fuck up, and it made me really uncomfortable. So I've worked really hard to be like, "Okay, yeah, thank you." Like, yeah.
I used to get complimented on my balls, man. My girlfriend was like, "This is like, it's so beautiful."
Like, what are you
so-
getting judged on? Is
Like
it the
one way to start working on it
texture or what?
was
Sorry. So
I kept it
when a
trimmed
girl
real
touches your
nice.
balls, does it go?
it shrivels up? It shrivels in.
at the start because I
It
couldn't
goes back into his.
He goes, "Ay hala."
because I couldn't take I couldn't take
Penis
compliments
doesn't get
really
tule
well.
anymore.
But now I've built up my ball
Balls.
self-esteem.
And
Yeah,
yet
show
he
them.
shows them all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it wasn't. It's not. Like a big change from one to another. It took a lot of work to build up that self-esteem.
I respect that.
First thing I did, I started going to Kmart and I bought shorts that were like 3x, extra small, and then I'd wear that shit and it would just come out, from one of the
Oh, yeah,
legs.
that's equivalent to sleeveless
And
shirts,
then-
right? Yeah,
Yeah, just very short shorts, and then I'd go to the clubs, and then every time like I talk to a girl, I'd put one of my legs up on a chair and shit.
You one of those guys.
That's not a, that's
For
not a
some
joke for
reason, they'd be
2021.
like, you know,
That's not a joke.
they kept it. I had to, you know,
Jesus.
my eyes are up here. Thanks, kind of.
That's sexual harassment. That's what that is.
Exactly. But I mean, if you've got it, flaunt it. That's what
Are
they
you a
say.
speedos guy or a
Jesus.
boxers guy?
Yeah, man.
I've worked hard for these
Lord.
nuts.
Speedos
Oh,
or boxers?
Oh, what? Sorry,
I don't even know why we're talking about this, to be honest.
boxes.
The brips or
Why am I
boxes?
interested? Like, why?
I was gonna ask what makes your balls special, but I'm not gonna ask that. Don't worry.
You're gonna have to
Let's
sign
move-
up
let's
for
move on to the
OnlyFans.
next
Yeah,
question
this is
before this
getting-
gets
this
too
gets
wild.
Yeah, let's keep going. I was gonna plug the sponsor, but probably not. Not
No,
during
no,
that
no.
segment.
So Isabel Wild, 3 wants to. She says, talk about the best story you're picked up with your feet. So I'm saying, I think she meant talk about a story of the best thing that you picked up with your feet. So do you guys use your feet to pick some stuff up? Because I've just recently learned that this is a Filipino thing. So what's the deal?
I've never done it, but I have an auntie who could pinch you with her feet. She could, like, if she was annoyed at you and you were like you sitting down or something, she would take her big toe, like her 2 toes, and pinch you so hard that you knew you were in trouble. And that, like, she had the dexterity and the strength
Wait.
to be able to pinch you with her toes.
What were her hands doing that she couldn't pinch you with her hands?
She felt she felt it was, you know, I
She's just
think
dropping spoons in sinigang.
the amount of trauma
Ting, 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 ting.
I think the amount of trauma that you can inflict on a child by pinching them with your foot over pinching them with your hand,
It's another level.
exponential.
Where did you say she
Exponential.
pinched you? On your nose or your arm?
On your
she'll
ear.
she'll pinch you on my
Just pull you
arm
like
or pinch
that.
you
On his nipples.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
That's added
Oh
some
my
sexual
gosh.
trauma in the future.
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
It's
that's,
like-
that's too terrible.
He likes spanking
Wow, this is
and
wild.
being touched with the nipples with his toes. How about you guys? Like, what have you ever used your feet to pick up something?
I do. I do with my just clothes on the floor all the time. Like, I just naturally do. I don't realize I do it, but I just do it all the time. It's nothing exceptional, but I'm always just like, "Foom, foom." And I'm like, "Whoa, why'd I do that?" And I realize now it's like, "Oh, it's my heritage.
It's my
It's in my blood." You know, makes sense.
I don't really. I've always worn chanelas. I never really pick stuff up with my foot. But one of the things that I learned, I learned this off of Don's brother, John. So when John, I saw him driving one time. You know, he's got his chanelas on, but when he gets in the car, he takes them off and he drives barefoot. And I seen his motherfucking toes wrap around the pedals, man. So I was like, hang on. I mean, I'm sitting here living in 2019, like, I'm just gonna step on these pedals. This guy's pulling them back with his foot as well. So let me give that a try. And man,
no.
the control over the vehicle is so much better.
You think
It's
you'll be
probably
more
like
efficient
F1
to have the
secrets.
gear shift, the gear stick, right next to the clutch?
Shifting gears with his foot.
Yeah.
So
You like double clutching,
Yeah, so it's all feet.
grabbing on the.
You don't have to really use your hands for anything.
It's just,
I can just imagine it.
oh
man.
wow.
Oh man,
Oh man, that's wild.
man, I don't pick up anything with my feet. I actually tried it because like I've learned, like once I've learned about it being a part of my heritage, I'm like, oh man, maybe
practice
Don
mode.
can't play basketball, Garcia can't sing, and I can't pick up things with my feet. It's like-
Yeah,
I'm just like trying.
we all can't follow.
We all can't feel it. Like I don't know. Just
Hey Armand, is anyone saying anything in the chat?
don't try to change the subject, man.
Nats was just saying how Nats was being helpful because she couldn't get it off the floor with her pregnant bump in the way. So yes,
Yeah.
such a gentleman
Hey,
using his
yeah,
feet to pick up
see.
clothes off the floor.
There you go.
Ah.
Never my
done.
hands though.
Never mind.
Multi talented and skilled.
Can you pass the salt, please?
Yep, 1 second.
No problem. You would like some pepper with that salt?
Some cheese.
You're doing this with your feet.
Both at the same time. both at the same time.
So I've got an ad that I found on YouTube. So I've already given it to Armin, our
we're gonna play
producer. Then we're gonna play it. He's gonna screen share his page, and then we're gonna watch this ad.
Let's test this out.
And let's talk about this ad because, like, man, Filipinos are just super creative.
Oh,
Is this another one of those
Here we go.
oh wait.
crazy ads? Big flakes, mega tuna, no extenders, no soy protein concentrate. So there's tuna on top of some what looks like noodles. And ladies eating.
Gusto mo? Hindi kita hatian nito, no?
I'm not gonna share my food with you.
Whoa!
Oh,
Bro, that's scary, bro.
Paano mo kakainin to? Wala ka namang bibig. Inggit ka, no?
it's so it's a manananggal.
It's a manananggal.
Yeah.
Oh!
And her feet go into the frame.
Whoa.
So she's fighting with herself. Whoa.
Well, looks a bit sexual.
See, there's a salt. You're supposed to throw it on the thing. That's how you kill
What's
him.
manananggal again?
So manananggal is a type of vampire
What, the legs?
monster from the Philippines.
Oh.
And so they detach their torso from their legs and they fly about.
Sige na nga.
Scary, bro.
So she's
This is funny, bro.
this is
Oh,
Holy
this
crap.
is hilarious.
but like
Oh no.
okay, so
Oh,
more
no.
feet walk in.
Mega maiingit sila sa sayo.
Mega tuna, they're gonna be jealous at how delicious it is.
Man,
I
so
love it.
that was a mega tuna ad. We had an episode where we did talk about the what's it called, manananggal? Yeah, and then
Yeah, manananggal.
let's have a quick brief of what it is for the people who just tuned in. So it's a mythical
So it's a vampire type monster from the Philippines.
Yep.
And it kind of detaches the torso from the body, and the legs are just left
She
there by
grows
itself.
wings, so
Grows
she can.
wings.
Her top body is basically just flying away, and
Yeah.
her legs stay put.
It's creepy.
Yeah, and in
But-
this ad, the legs are also
They have a mind of its
like
own.
they have a mind of its
Yeah.
own, and so the top half of her is fighting with her legs.
Oh, for the tuna.
And at the end of the ad, she's reattached herself to her legs, but then more sets of legs come in wanting to eat the tuna.
Just to clarify, like the salt bit, right? So that was the folklore, so right? Like, so if you see a manananggal's legs, well, that's how you're supposed to be able to take them out.
Salt.
You find their legs and you put salt on that open wound, and you see that shit bubbling, kind of like how slugs die, and that kills the manananggal. But she used that shit so that she
Join
would
back.
let go of fucking chokehold with the legs.
Yeah, that
love
was
that
some UFC shit right there.
Yeah.
She was, I don't
It's
know
a
what move that
triangle
is. A
hold,
triangle hold.
Yep.
That's insane.
But like, yeah, like after that ad, and then seeing the RC Cola ad, man,
Oh, what's the RC Cola ad?
I think the RC Cola ad is still
it's still
undefeated
undefeated. That's
with how
look at it in your own
how
time.
crazy weird
Look
it
at
was.
it our TikTok page or our Instagram
Oh,
page.
wait,
It's
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and
It's an
yeah, check it out.
award-winning one.
It's award-winning. It's award-winning. Yes,
Actually, someone
congratulations.
someone mentioned that as well.
What award did it win? Do you remember? I don't remember
Is
what
there an
award
ad
it won.
I
for
can't
awards for
remember.
ads?
But yeah, it won an
That's
award. So
Wow.
and shout outs to that. And I think now Filipino ads are really underrated.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely
games, bro.
underrated. Like this one had it all. Like it had the folklore. It had a tin can of tuna, just being the small product it is, and it just had the comedy in it. It had everything. It had horror. I'm just judging this friggin' thing like it's a movie. I completely love it. I just love
CGI
it.
was on point.
CGI was
Wait,
on
wait,
point. That's the most
in-
surprising
in,
thing.
um,
I've seen TFC like horror movies in
Yeah,
the
man, it's good
1990s, and
quality.
it was just so shit. But compared that to now, I'm like, man, this is up there with Marvel shit, bro.
Would you want to watch a full screen play of this big tuna?
That would be really cool. It'd be like the Filipino folklore, but then
Avengers style. Yeah, I was thinking that too. So you can have
Marvel Nangals.
who would be the Iron Man and Captain America? Who would be the leaders? It would have to be the white lady, right? And
What? Oh yeah.
And what else is there?
That's good.
Tikbalang. The Tikbalang would be like Thor or something because he's half horse, half man. Have like a
horse.
Now we're
Wait,
just
what
thinking
else is
about
there?
folklore.
There's the I'm trying to remember the names for them, but it's the one that we talked about in the previous episode. Go back to the previous episode where we talked about all of
Which
this
was the
stuff.
Tabe one?
Or just watch Trece on
Yeah,
on
Yeah,
Netflix.
Trece.
Yeah, I need to finish that.
Yeah. I need to finish
Asswangs.
that. Yeah, Asswang.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Check out that episode.
Asswang.
That is an award-winning episode in our hearts.
Ass wangs.
But like, yeah, I'm gonna be on a roll just to look for more Filipino commercials just to play on the podcast because like I think
we're
they're
getting
super
some
under.
recommendations already.
There you
well,
go.
the Aussie Cola was recommended.
Yeah, definitely that one.
But
That's
we've seen that already.
that's the
And
top tier.
apparently Jollibee ads.
All right, we'll check them out. The next one I'll
Jollibee
check.
ads, like, it's getting really wild. Like, they have this thing called Storya ng Jollibee or something like that. Every year they come out with a bunch of them, and it's like we've talked about this ad from Thailand where there's like a homeless guy that's been staying in front of a shop, and then the shop owner thinks like, oh, this dude's just been like loitering in front of my store, but when he checked the CCTV, the homeless dude was like protecting his shop from people trying to like rob the place and like peeing on his like shop front. So Philippines has like a string of all these like really pulling on your heartstrings kind of Jollibee ads.
Yeah.
To the point where you can actually make a fucking movie out of them, man. Whether it be like romance or stuff, or like Mother's Day is coming up. I think it'd be a good idea to check out those ads because
Oh man, the
by the end
Jollibee
of the
cinematic
day, like-
I think
universe.
it's more of a touch.
exactly, like we could, basically, like,
So it's not really comedy. It's more like it's heartfelt.
yeah, it kind of gets you like it's
Yeah,
that
that
very
would be
like
a different. tone.
heartwarming.
I like that.
And this is one of the we talked about Pinoy baiting last week, but there's like a string of YouTubers that reactors, and this is like one
I'll
of the
have to watch
big
that too.
kind of content from Philippines that they do reactions to, because oh my gosh, man,
These ads, yeah.
All
Like
right.
And they hit the field.
All right.
bro,
This
look
is-
at me, right?
That reminds me.
I'm this
Yeah,
burly dude. By the end of watching that shit, man, I'm fucking
You
getting
crying,
my
you
tissues
tearing.
and shit. Going like,
That reminds me of those. Those short Disney ads. Oh, not ads. Short
Oh, the
films
shorts,
that they do.
yeah.
But there's a Filipino one too, and that one was like, I felt like crying.
Yeah, have you seen that one? Have you seen the Filipino
It's
one?
so
The one
sad.
where she could learn to fly or something? She can float? Is that the one?
No.
It's called Float, right?
Yeah.
The Pixar
Have
movie.
you seen that one?
It's not
Yeah.
a full movie. I don't know if I don't think I've seen that.
It's a short.
movie.
It's not a Pixar.
It's like a
movie.
Pixar short.
If it's a
and it's,
short, then maybe
um,
it is. It's with the Lola.
So
Oh,
there
that's
Lola?
that's the other one. There's two of them. There's
'Cause
two
it's
Pixar.
really like
there's
I was
two
like, oh
Pixar
man, I
ones.
feel like crying from watching it.
there's one that's like so one of the animators, his son is autistic, and so in the film, his son kind of flies and the dad in the film tries to keep him down, and to the point where he gets angry at him, and then he realizes that his son is just different and he has to be free and to be himself. It's this really
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
heartwarming short film by Pixar, and I'm
Man.
glad that they're able to share their stories like that.
Man, that stuff really gets me. And then you read the story into it that his son is autistic, and I'm like, oh man,
Oh,
you
yeah,
start
that's
crying
like-
and shit. Like, oh man,
That's feels
like
bad.
anything to do with trying to fit in and just to be yourself and stuff. Those things always get me, man. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try to make this a segment where I just get a Filipino ad commercial, whether it be funny, inspiring, or something, just to showcase how good those ads are. So every week
Yeah.
I'll make it a thing. So that was this
Like a
week's
react.
one. So we could
Yeah,
react to it.
if anyone wants to recommend some to us too, send them through to.
All right, let's go to one of my
DMs.
last questions. Last questions I want to put into, and then we could probably get into this cheat code stash after that. So
Yep.
the final question, it comes from Genutello 25, and it's talk about sibling rivalries, like say career, or even who cooks the best, or whose parents love the most. So I really want to get to this because I just realized that, yeah, I was thinking about it, like there's the rivalries not within only within siblings, but the cousins And if you're the same age as that person, there are always going to be comparisons. Like, your parents would always be like, why don't you be like your kuya, or why don't you be like this? Like, well, have you ever experienced, or is there a story where you were competing, not indirectly or even directly, with a cousin or a family member?
I think we can all kind of relate to that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, for me, growing up, it was, I don't know if they did this on purpose or it was just a thing that parents do or aunties do. If you were being naughty as a kid, they'd be like, look at your cousin, they're being, he's a good boy, he's behaving, he's sitting down.
Don't you be like him?
Why don't you be more like them,
Because I know, bitch, mama.
Look at your cousin, he's a nurse and he's doing all this, like, why don't you be a nurse? Or look at your cousin, he's doing this. That was always the case, that they would compare you to a cousins, and I'm just like, damn, I'm not my cousin.
Is that maybe a Filipino thing to always compare?
I don't know if it's a Filipino thing or an Asian thing, but
same age, or maybe an Asian thing.
I remember being compared always to my cousin who's 10 days older than me. So we're the same age. Yeah. She's on 10 days, like she's literally born 10 days before me, the same month. So throughout our childhood, we're always been compared. She's the smart one, super smart. If you want to put some context into it, she's now a doctor in another state.
Okay, yeah, she's
so
smart.
Super smart.
Oh,
and look where I am. I am making my own business, doing creative stuff.
You're a king of the podcast.
King of the podcast.
Yeah.
But like, if
How
imagine
many
that.
followers on TikTok does she have?
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
you know what? I'm gonna text her.
I'm gonna say you've got 29,000 more than she does.
Yeah, so she's a doctor. She's always been the smart one, and I've always been compared, like, between the aunties and uncles and parents and stuff like that. It's like, okay, because like we're the same age. We're like the only two that are the same age in this age bracket, and then all the other cousins would be compared to someone who's their age. It seems to be a thing in the family, but like ever since then, I was like, man, I didn't think of how deep it would be. I was always like thinking it was all fun and stuff, and then now as we grow, and I'm thinking now I'm pretty much nearly close to the age that they would see us as in the 30s, and then I'm like, man, this comparing shit's crazy. And
wait, in a bad way?
I mean, I'm just thinking about it now. Like, imagine just comparing just two people, and they're just two different things. But I was always compared to my cousin, like no matter what, and she was always succeeding in things more than I did, like school captain.
But do you think that pushed you to be who you are more?
Yeah, I guess so. But like, we're just two different people. Like I'd do things the quite opposite, I guess. Like, if she's smart, I'm gonna try and figure out something that I would be good at. Like, I'll play sports. I'll play basketball. She doesn't play that. Like, my life was like revolving around what she's not good at.
You wanted to find your own lane.
Yeah, I'm always trying to find. Everyone seems to find that you need to find your own lane no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to like grow up being a second sibling. I can't relate because I'm a first sibling, but like you hear it a lot, like being in the shadow of maybe if you have a really successful older sibling. It could go both ways. What if like the younger siblings is way more successful and then it's just natural, I think, and it goes down to like comparison's sake. But it just I get that, man. Like, it pushes you. Like, if you're like, I can't compete with what they do. It's sort of like, for me anyway, I use it like as a motivation. It's like, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna be who I'm not. This is what I'm at. This is what I'm good at. I'm just gonna go hard with this or whatever.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. I'm gonna have a real problem with because I'm having twins.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but like, I'm glad you did.
Is that what you? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know like how that works. Like, is there a playbook for that? Like,
I think naturally amongst them, like, I don't know. I'm not a twin myself, but I could imagine like them competing against each other because they're pretty much like naturally set on the same starting point, and then just throughout things they're gonna one up each other, whether it be inspiring each other, but also like know.
I don't know if it'll be
I think
a compare thing, because maybe siblings maybe a bit more, but twins, I don't know if they're like more like
sync. They're just
one, not one and the same, but it's just so level that it's not really competing.
We'll see.
I don't know.
I think
don't know.
I mean, for me and my brothers, like Kendrick especially, right? We were always competing when we were growing up. I'm older than him, so there was a time when everything that I was doing, he wanted to do as well, and I started DJing when I was younger, and then he started it as well. He got so much better at it than I was. He got so much better. He's still DJing every now and again now. But I remember it just felt strange, like growing up, we just kind of trying to one up on each other. And yeah, I think with everything, it's just kind of trying to find, as you were saying, Raf, it's like trying to find your own lane, right? For me, it wasn't necessarily DJing. It was singing and playing guitar and writing songs and doing that stuff. And for Ken, he wanted to try that, and now he's much better, and he's doing the whole DJ thing. Yeah, it's just finding what you like best and what is your lane.
Yeah,
I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, man. As you grow older, like, because at the start, like, I think aunties and parents will just compare you to, like, in their like criteria, and the Asian parents' criteria is always going to be like, how successful are you going to be in terms of, like, are you going to be a doctor, like all that stuff, then like marriage, family, all that stuff. That's going to be embedded in the traditional Filipino parent's mind, and that's how they're going to compare you. I think it's going to be different with our kids, because like our minds are a bit more different, because we have a different sort of
different upbringing,
mindset than the traditional way. But I think growing out of that, and then as you get older, you learn to find your own lane. It was tough being in the teenage years, trying to be always being compared, but at the end of the day, I think it helped me. I just turned it into something good. Like, there's two ways you can do it. You can make it into something that really gets to you so much, to a point that you lose your identity, or it holds you back, or you could just find your own lane and just do your own thing and use it as fuel. Yeah, use it as fuel to just make you into something that the best you can be. Because, like, you never know. I could have been super competitive and followed the same path as my cousin, and then end up being a doctor, and then realizing that my true self wanted to be something creative, and now I could have lost that path in the future. So in the alternate, if we're going to do a multiverse of Rafs, there could have been one Raf that became a doctor only because my cousin became a doctor. And I'm thankful that I'm not in that path, because I created my own lane, and I am in a lane that I'm really happy in. So I do kind of think being compared, I guess, and it made me who I am. But at the end of the day, it's how you choose to receive it. You know what I mean? How you take it. So yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Anyone got some Filipino jokes or some shit?
Raf really had to get that out. He was like, he felt some way this morning. I was like, yeah, no, thanks for sharing, dude. That's like, dope.
Because everyone, it's a thing that everyone gets compared. So I think everyone can relate to being compared to a family member and feeling that.
Armin, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, we've got some comments in the chat from non-fungible gang. Is that how it's said? Fungible, my bad. Non-fungible gang says, my mum's an identical twin. Her and my aunt are unbelievably supportive of each other.
Nice.
Completely the opposite of competitive. It's like they compete as a unit against everyone
Twins have
else.
Their own bond.
Yeah.
That's
like
them.
unit.
Yeah.
I think it's different being a twin, eh?
Because even when a twin comes out, right? You know what? A twin, like, pretend like singletons, we'd have a favorite parent. But a twin, I think their number one will always be their sibling, because it's like they just can't. They were in the same womb together.
The same person. Almost.
Yeah, like
same person. But yeah.
I mean, like, you look at that. Especially with identical. You look at that. You look at your sibling. Looks exactly like you.
Yeah,
you can relate. So cool. The relate factor is on over 100, I think. Like, and you just gun for it. Like, you just become one person. It's you against the world. Yeah, man. I want a twin brother. Imagine that. Two raps.
Hey, can I rewind it back real quick? You know, Don, when you were saying about like you have your hobbies, and then you have your younger sibling doing your hobbies too. And this is not like at anyone. It's not even for me. It's just an idea that popped in my head, because like it doesn't even have to be siblings. It could be just like a friend or something younger. But when you like pretend you start doing something, it is your thing, and then like rapping, and then someone else starts rapping too, because you're doing it. Do you find that as almost like a flattering thing, or like, because I know some people are like, oh, now they're doing what I'm doing, or maybe if they keep doing it at the same time, I don't know. But for me, I think it's like it's like a flattering thing. It's like, oh, they like it because I do it too. But I know other people sometimes can tend to feel a way about things. I don't know. It's
Now
like
that
it's a weird.
when
thing.
I was younger, I felt kind of insecure when people were doing stuff that I was doing.
Because that was
it
like your
felt like-
identity, right? Like this is what I
Yeah,
do.
it's part
and
of
then
my
someone's
identity,
like, yeah, hide. Because
Yeah, but now-
actually when I was young, actually it was a bit like that too. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, but like now it's kind of like if somebody is inspired in quotation marks by me to do something, then hell yeah, like it's
Yeah.
not like if I do it then everybody else loses. If we're both doing it, then like I do stuff because I want to do I want to do stuff.
Yeah,
You
comes
know,
with age.
and if other
It's
people want to share that as well, then it means that we have similarities and we can share something together. So it's no longer something that makes me feel insecure.
I love that. Man, it's been a while since we had a deep and meaningful conversation. I feel like
Yeah, we
Yeah.
never
we
went
got
deep,
too
man.
focused on
It's all
jokes.
It's all Onlyfans, dick pics.
I think it's the addition of Armand. I think. Just,
yeah, you need arm and a balance.
Just
Like-
here in the background, man.
Guy for like
Thanks
having
for
guy
being here,
friends,
bro.
like a guy group of guy. Oh, this is another conversation that we could like have a whole episode on. But like, let's just touch a bit of it. Like, guy friends, all they do is just joke around. Like, it's rare, not rare, but like, you have these moments where you can have these conversations where are really deep, really meaningful, but you know, 90% of the times it's all joke around and stuff. But it's good to have these conversations so you know where everyone's mind's at, and you learn more in a deeper level of each other. Because like the mentality of like guys just joke around and just talk about girls all the time, that mentality is like old school. Like let's get to know each other. Like everyone is learning us.
Let's get to know
you
each
know.
other. It's only been 10 years.
Like we can know someone, we can know a guy for like about 10 years, be friends with him, be close friends with him, but not knowing what scares them, what you know, what they were like as kids. Like those conversations are really rare, and like we should encourage
Yeah.
it, because like, you know, I think a closer bond would be much better for a guy, even especially guy group, man. Like I'm glad to have Nats as one of my closest friends and Don's close friends, and now I'm friends with Garcia, and I'm learning a lot more about him. And you know, it's amazing. I like having these conversations. But man, this is getting so deep. We're gonna have a cry, bro.
You make Garcia cry. I feel so at home.
Like
I just bring it back to the thing. Just one last thing. Obviously we've been doing the podcast for years, right? When my brother got tapped to be part of the Double D show,
shoutouts
to do a podcast.
Double D show.
Yeah, like they were doing a podcast as well. I was so proud of him, because I knew that he wanted to do some of that stuff as well, and I knew that he could kind of affect kind of change in their podcast, and he wanted to do that stuff. So super proud of him for getting into that. It wasn't competitive anymore. I mean, yes, we kind of joke about
it comes with age though, as well. Like you just that stuff doesn't matter.
and I know that we would joke around, you know, like us, the Cheatcoders versus the Double D show and whatever, but at the same time, I was proud that they were also creating content for the West. You know,
love it.
So it means that there's more there's more platforms out there to showcase the West and showcase people from Sydney's West.
Exactly, man. Same way when we were so proud that, you know, you did some stuff with SBS.
Yeah, I was so proud, man. Like you know, talk about
So
your dating
proud,
life
bro.
before us. You know, like talk about that's so,
Yeah, I was like, nah,
on
good
you,
on
man.
him, man. He's opening up to SBS.
He doesn't have to open up to his close friends. You know, like
Love this guy,
at the end of the day, he's doing it. Yeah.
You don't need to tell us, but
Yeah,
that's
man.
cool.
You gotta love it, man.
Nice.
He's
nice.
such a nice guy.
Damn.
Still freaking
That's the
salty.
most
Yeah, it's been
insulting
like 2
comment
years.
that you can ever say to a guy.
Yeah.
Man, you're such a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. Apparently the episode is going to be aired in October sometime. Not sure when exact date, but I'll let you guys know when you guys can be
So
even more
dating
salty
one
when
done?
you see it. Yeah, the episode.
We're gonna do a reaction video to it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, please.
For sure.
We're not even get it. We're not even
hilarious.
get in the first minute of it. We're just we're gonna pause it, and then we're gonna have a whole podcast on that first minute. Just freaking gross, bro.
Man, I felt like that was so long ago, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We filmed it last year.
I mean, like,
Far out.
Yeah, you were a different person back then.
But yeah, congratulations to us,
Yeah.
man.
Time trip.
I'm still a bit of
Anyway.
a competitive person, no matter what I said. So, but you know, we're a strong
Now
podcast.
we've always been competitive though,
Yeah.
Raph. Like, you know, we've always been happy for each other.
Yeah.
Like even
bro.
back in music
Yeah.
days, like Raph will drop a track, I'll be like, "Fuck you!" But that's so good, so good. I want to punch you in the face right now, but props, man.
That's how we met.
Literally.
You know, that's how we met. Literally, like I saw you on SoundClick, and I'm like, who the fuck is this Philip guy? I messaged you, good song. And then we became friends.
It's so passive, man. It's like, good track, man. I'm like, thanks, dude. This Raph guy's pretty nice, eh?
And then they became good friends.
Actually, Don, like, remember, like, I didn't like you from some point, and it was because I was jealous of you.
Yeah.
Doing, like, this fucking guy doing events. I do events. Why is his events better than mine? Why
is
does
he
he have
wearing
a
a
blazer
vest?
and a guitar? It's not fair. It always starts that way, man. It's that competitive.
Oh man.